When you launch the app, you can start a session in a desired module by simply touching the respective icon. On the top left-hand side of the screen, the Settings button allows you to change the software settings. On the top right-hand side, the Help button activates a guide on the use of the software. At the bottom of the screen, the Load Session button displays a list of previously saved profiles. The EY stick is the device used to capture all the advanced optical eyewear measurements using one single frontal image. The EY stick captures personalized frame fit measurements, taking into account how the frame sits on a person's face. It is critical to properly fit the frame in the way it would be dispensed prior to performing the measurement with the EY stick. The EY stick consists of 4 main elements: the frame hooks, the wrap arm, the vertex distance prism, and the posture swing assembly. Number 1. Adjust the EY stick. Number 2. Capture the natural posture. Number 3. Take the measurement picture without head rotation and head tilt. And number 4. Validate the position of the markers on the image. The frame hooks are located behind each leg. Extend the legs by holding the bottom edge of each leg. Insert the frame between the hooks and then close the legs to secure the frame in place, making sure that the EY stick is centered on the frame. Note that you can use the swing assembly as a point of reference to help guide you in centering the EY stick to the frame. The wrap arm consists of a pivoting ledge located at the back of the EY stick. Looking from above, rotate the ledge back and forth until the ledge is parallel with the curvature of the eyewear. This will measure the frame wrap angle. Once the EY stick is secured and the wrap arm is set, ask the patient to wear the eyewear in the way they normally would. The vertex distance prism can be moved left and right by applying a light pressure on the thumb rest. Place yourself nose to nose with the patient and simply move the prism to the temporal side of the iris until the pupil is visible inside the prism. Also, make sure that the prism is not obstructing the frontal view of the patient's pupil. The patented posture swing assembly allows the height measurements to take into account the patient's natural posture. First, unlock the swing assembly by lifting the brake arm. Next, make sure that the patient assumes their natural posture. Note that the patient should not be crossing their arms during this step. You can either capture the patient's standing posture or their sitting posture based on the patient's lifestyle. Ask the patient to look at a far distant object using their primary line of sight. The locking process is the equivalent to dotting a patient manually. The same care and attention are required to analyze the patient's posture prior to locking the swing assembly. If you have judged that the patient is not in their natural posture, guide them to changing their posture using standard opticianry techniques prior to locking. When ready, apply a slight pressure on the brake arm to lock the swing assembly. Now that the posture swing assembly is locked, the patient does not need to be at the same eye level as the camera lens on your tablet. The patented EY stick ensures precise measurements by recreating the customer's natural posture when the two green nasal sensors are in alignment. Note that locking the swing assembly in different postures will result in getting different heights. Your professional judgment should be used in ensuring that the patient is in their natural posture when locking the swing assembly. Now that the EY stick has been set, you are now ready to take the measurement picture. When entering the measurement module, select the frame type, the lens type, and then touch the Continue button. A live video feed is displayed with focus and take picture buttons on each side of the video. Touch the focus button to ensure that the video feed is in focus. This is an important step, as it also ensures that the picture will not be washed out. Touching the focus button also triggers the flash, allowing you to verify that the prism was placed correctly by ensuring that the corneal reflection is visible inside the prism. Please note that the patented EY stick allows an operator to measure a patient without being at the same eye level. In fact, the patient can even be sitting while the optician is standing. Position the iPad at a distance of approximately 1.5 feet from the patient and tilt the iPad until the two green nasal sensors on the swing assembly of the EY stick are in horizontal alignment. The horizontal alignment ensures that the patient's primary line of sight is being used when capturing the image. Next, make sure that no head rotation is being introduced by ensuring that the white rotation indicator is not visible. While moving the iPad, the software will attempt to assist you in guiding your movement to eliminate head tilt and rotation. However, in certain lighting conditions, this assistance may not be available, and you may proceed to analyze the picture yourself and ensure correct sensor alignment. You must also make sure that the EY stick and the customer's eyewear is fully visible within the blue rectangle. Please pay attention that the bottom green sensors are also within the blue rectangle. Once they are in alignment, ask the patient to look at the iPad's camera lens and touch the Take Picture button while making sure to hold the iPad still. To avoid blurry pictures, hold the Take Picture button pressed, adjust the iPad position, and release when ready. If the software detects that the head tilt or rotation are outside of the tolerance zones, you'll be asked to retake the picture. Once a proper picture is taken, the measurement picture is displayed. Please take a moment to analyze the image to verify that the pre-fit was properly performed. Note that reaching this measurement picture screen means that the software has validated that the sensors are within tolerance. Even if a slight offset is seen in the nasal sensor's alignment, there is no need to retake the picture at this stage. The software may display an items to verify list with some recommendations. These recommendations are not errors, but are simply reminders asking the optician to analyze the image to verify various aspects of the prefit. Only a prefit problem spotted in the image by the optician requires retaking the picture at this step. On the measurement image, the software draws the following measurement markers: a horizontal line, 2 vertical lines, 2 pupil markers, and a marker on the reflection of the pupil inside of the prism. The software attempts to automatically place all markers in their correct position and will display in red markers not automatically detected. Please perform the following verifications. Verify that the horizontal line is placed on the inner edge of the frame, where the frame and the lens come together. Next, verify that the vertical lines are placed on each side of the bridge, ensuring that the same reference point is used on both sides. Do not use the nose pads as a reference point, as they change with the fitting. You must now verify the markers on the pupils. Note that on the side where the prism is located, 2 reflections are formed on the pupil. Verify that the marker is on the nasal most reflection. This also applies to the pupil reflection inside of the prism. On the left eye, verify that the marker is positioned on the corneal reflection. Note that the optician has the flexibility of adjusting the vertical position of the pupil markers based on their professional judgment and measurement habits. In certain lighting conditions, the software may not place all of the markers in their correct positions. When this occurs, the optician may adjust the placement of the markers. If you spot a displaced marker, adjust its position by first selecting the marker. Selecting a marker is done by touching the 2 square anchors in the case of the lines, or on the crosshairs in the case of the pupils. Once a marker is selected, there are 3 ways to adjust its position. Drag outside of the directional ring to slide the marker in place. Tap anywhere inside the ring to move the marker to a specific spot, or use the arrows to make fine adjustments. Quickly navigate through the different markers using the previous and next buttons on each side of the picture. When all of the markers have been set, return to the full view mode by touching the Unselect button. Now you have all of the measurements needed to order your lenses. Optionally, frame measurements can also be captured by tapping on Enable Frame Measurements. This displays a green corner shape and a yellow circle. Place the green corner such that the horizontal segment is placed at the top of the lens, and the vertical segment is placed on the temporal side of the lens. This completes the boxing of the lens. Next, change the size of the yellow circle by dragging the effective diameter slider at the bottom right-hand side of the screen so that the lens fits inside the smallest size circle. The A, B, ED, and DBL frame measurements are displayed on the right side of the results bar. Now that the frame measurements are complete, the lens thickness button becomes available in full view mode. In the lens thickness demo, drag the RX slider to select the patient's approximate prescription. This displays the difference in thickness between a 1.5, 1.6, 1.67, and 1.74 lens using the patient's pupillary distance measurements and their frame measurements. Exit by touching the X button at the top right-hand side of the lens thickness window. You can also touch the Lens Package button to verify whether the chosen lens package respects the minimum fitting height and whether the lens cuts out correctly. If you are not done with the session and want to access another module, you can quickly switch modules by touching the appropriate icon on the top left-hand side. When you are done with the measurements process, touch the Done button. Touching the Save button saves the session with the customer's first and last name. Touching the Discard button exits the session without saving. The Frame Selection module enables customers to see how they look like in different eyewear. The side-by-side image comparison exposes the customer to frames of different styles, resulting in an increase in multiple frame sales. To use this module, simply touch one of the 4 quadrants to activate live video. Once the patient is in view, touch on the live video feed once ready to capture the image. This process may be repeated in the other quadrants. To view the pictures in full view, double-tap the image. You can also use a pinching gesture to zoom into the image. When in full view, swipe the images to scroll through them. You can email customers their pictures by touching the Email button located at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Note that an email account must first be configured on the iPad in order to use this function. You can clear the pictures by touching the Clear button. If you are not done with the session and want to access another module, you can quickly switch modules by touching the appropriate icon on the top left-hand side. When you are done with the Frame Selection module, touch the Done button to return to the home screen.